Welcome to season 5 of Real Estate U with Lettiann. This season, we're bringing the podcast episodes to you from my kitchen. So for those of you who do not know me, my name is Lettiann Sutherland. I'm broker owner of Lettiann & Associates Real Estate Services right here in the Kansas City Metro. For those of you who do know me, you know I love to cook. So that's why a new twist for season 5 of our podcast series talking about real estate, but we're going to talk about real estate right here from my kitchen. So many of these recipes are available in my book, Homes That Cook. I wrote and published this book recently, and it is tips on buying, selling, and creating a home that cooks. This book is available on Amazon.com. Search Homes That Cook. So we have the most fabulous guest lineup for you for season 5. We're not only going to be making some incredible drinks, meals, and coffees, but we're going to be talking real estate. If you like what you're watching and you're enjoying the recipes, you can download them from our website for free, lettiann.com/season 5 recipes. So go and check out those recipes, download them for free. And if you'd like a copy of my book, please go to Amazon.com, Homes That Cook. So we're gonna start off today by making a pumpkin spice latte. So we're going to start out with 2 cups of your favorite milk. I'm using almond milk this morning. So unsweetened almond milk, 2 cups. We're then going to whisk in 2 tablespoons of pumpkin puree. And depending upon how sweet you like your coffee, I'm light on the sugar, so you can go from 1 tablespoon up to 3 tablespoons for this recipe. And since I'm gonna be sharing this with my producer, and he's got a sweet tooth, I'm adding a little bit of extra sugar. You don't want this to boil. You simply want to whisk the pumpkin puree and incorporate it with the sugar and the almond milk. But again, you can use whole milk, skim milk, oat milk, anything you choose. So again, we don't want the milk to burn. And if any of you have ever burnt milk, you know that's not a good smell and it's hard to clean the pan. So I have it on a medium heat and I'm whisking constantly. I'm now going to add 1 tablespoon of vanilla. I like Madagascar vanilla. However, you can use any vanilla you choose. And we still have it on a medium heat so we can get that almond milk nice and hot without burning. And now I'm going to sprinkle in 1/2 teaspoon of pumpkin pie spice. Oh, it smells amazing. I've got some Italian blend coffee here in my French press. And I'm going to add about 1/2 cup of coffee, maybe a little bit more. As we start season 5, we're so excited. We'll add a little more caffeine. This is getting nice and hot now. And I'm just going to pour this into this lovely mug here. Oh, it smells so good. And just for fun, we'll give it a little whipped cream. And an extra pinch of pumpkin pie spice. Perfect. Now, I'm going to enjoy this pumpkin spice latte, but I want to talk with you about real estate. I'm going to take a sip of this first. Oh, that's incredible. So good. Real estate is constantly changing. So whether you're buying or selling real estate, Typically that happens about every 7 to 10 years on average for a consumer. And I often say who you hire matters, but especially now with your biggest asset. I always encourage people to interview 2 to 3 real estate professionals to see who is the best fit for them moving forward, whether you're buying a home or whether you're selling a home. Strategy matters, and anyone who is licensed, knows the community, and works their business on a regular basis is someone I would encourage you to hire. Everything changes in real estate constantly. There are cycles. For example, in the Kansas City metropolitan area, we have over 12,000 licensed persons. I might guess that 20 to 25% of those licensees actually work their real estate business on a regular basis. Now, right now we're experiencing and have been experiencing record low inventory numbers across the nation. Right now, it's a seller's market and buyers are experiencing buyer fatigue. So let's just back up for a minute and talk about if you are getting ready to embark on either buying a home or selling a home, and oftentimes people are doing that simultaneously, and there's a plan and a strategy that your real estate professional needs to talk with you about. For example, in my office, we, for buyers, have a buyer needs and wants meeting. It's a mandatory, if you will, but it's a getting to know you, and we are asking, what is it you absolutely need for your next home? Without question, okay, we need a fence for our dog. We definitely need 3-car garage. So the next question we would ask is, what are your wants? And the wants might be, oh, if we could, I'd love to live in a cul-de-sac. If the house came with a pool, we would want that. Not a need, but a want. So when you're interviewing realtors to assist you with the sale or the purchase of a home, be sure you connect with that person. Be sure that person has you top of mind and knows exactly what you're looking for. I also encourage you, if you're a buyer, to talk with at least 3 local lenders. Local lenders in your city will help you through thick and thin. They're more personable and more available than if you were just to go online and secure a pre-approval from an online platform. Now understand, you can go online, likely get a pre-approval without talking to a human being, but maybe you didn't give this year's tax records. Maybe you didn't give all of your W-2s or any type of information from your work that is required for a pre-approval. So you want to be sure you have a solid pre-approval. And again, I always suggest a local lender in your city because you're actually talking to a human and you actually know you are definitely pre-qualified or pre-approved before you start looking for properties. Now, let's stay on the subject of buyers. If you're not pre-approved, there's really no sense in you beginning to look at homes. I would encourage you to look online for homes. Most people do that anyway, just for fun. People love looking at homes. But if you are ready to purchase a property and you are not yet pre-approved, especially in today's market, you do not have a chance to secure a property. I just want to say, if you have any questions about this episode or another episode or anything that I might be talking about today or with a guest in the future, please email us. Please email me at Lettiann, it's Real Estate U with Lettiann, Real Estate U as in university, Real Estate U with Lettiann at Lettiann.com. There we'll answer your questions. Even if you have a question about why you need a pre-approval before you start looking at houses. And I caution you, if you select a realtor or you find a real estate agent that says, oh yeah, I'll take you around and look at homes, that's okay, you're not pre-approved. I might venture to guess that that buyer's agent or that realtor has nothing better to do with their time. Because if you're serious about shopping for a home, you really need to put the strategy in place, a good strategy with your real estate professional that is going to catapult you above all other offers because we are in multiple offer situations presently, and we see that continuing on for the next few months. That buyer's agent needs to know, and maybe you want to ask them when you're interviewing, do you use an escalation clause? What do you think about an in its present condition addendum to be used when we present an offer? I encourage the real estate professionals in my office, and I do this as well, have the buyer, when they found a home and they're like, oh, we love it, have the buyer either write a letter to the seller, a heartfelt letter, truly heartfelt letter, why they love this home. And secondly, take it a step further. If they're like, okay, we really want to stand out above all the other offers, we want them to shoot a video, grab their phone, get their family or their spouse or themselves or whoever's going to be living at the home and say, meet my family, or hi, I'm a first-time home buyer and I love your house. Shoot the video. Dear Mr. and Mrs. Bova, maybe that's the seller's name. Speak to them, make it personal. So it's imperative that you stand out above the multiple offers, but really, even if it's not a multiple offer situation and a seller received a heartfelt letter from you, the buyer, doesn't that start the game off and the transaction off on a smooth basis? So there's so much more that a buyer's agent does that I don't think often the consumer knows. We just don't open doors. That's not what we do. And so many people try to buy a house without a buyer's agent because they think they're going to knock down the commission. I'm a true believer if you get what you pay for. Remember though, if you're not aware, the seller pays the commission. Buyer is not paying commission. So if you think, well, I'm going to save money by not using one, I'll tell you what, you probably are losing out, and it's not in your best interest to not have a buyer agent represent you. And represent you means you're actually signing a buyer agency agreement. Now, let's talk about sellers. So presently we're in the midst of a seller's market. So the market is in favor of the seller right now. It doesn't mean when you hire someone, you simply, oh, well, we're going to put a sign in the yard because it's going to sell within the week. No, there is so much more to know. Questions you need to ask your listing agent after you've interviewed at least 2 or 3 licensed professionals who know the community, know the city, know what's happening in the real estate market right now. If you hadn't had a listing, now if the agent you selected hasn't had a listing in some time or does not have the support and mentorship of their broker, which I'm pointing at myself because we've got some killer rock star newer agents in our office, but when you get them, you also get me. So be sure you have the support you need. Be sure that listing agent knows how to handle multiple offers. That might be a question you ask them. So what do we do now that we have 17 offers? 17 offers, and I'm saying that, and it's not an exaggeration. I just submitted an offer for a buyer this weekend, 17 offers. We were tens of thousands of dollars over ask price, waiving the appraisal contingency. You want to ask your buyer and seller agent about that too. What is waiving your appraisal contingency? And you got to be sure that the buyer is able to do so. We still didn't get the property. So my point is, I'm seeing listing agents now. That's the agent you hire to market and sell your home. Remember, it's not about just putting a sign in the yard. It's not. The house needs professional photographer, professional photos, maybe even a drone shot, depending upon the property. You also want to be sure that as soon as your house hits the market, it's being marketed, not only to the public via social media, via email, but also to local realtors, because it's more often than not is another buyer agent will be selling the listing. So make sure when you're talking to and interviewing listing agents, how are they marketing to other real estate professionals? So who you hire matters now more than ever before, folks. It's not just opening doors, and it's not just putting a sign in the yard. I encourage you interviewing 2 to 3 persons, hiring a local lender, speaking to 2 to 3 local lenders, and perhaps you're considering a real estate license. I know everyone I speak to, they're like, oh, I always thought I would love to get a license one day. If you're considering a real estate career, if you're maybe in the business, in the real estate business, have a license, but maybe you don't have the mentorship you need to take you to the next level or even learn the basics of real estate. Maybe you don't have a strong coach or mentor or broker that's got your back and helps you through and teaches you through the process. I tell agents in my office, every transaction is different. No two buyers are the same. No two transactions are the same. And even after more than 15 years in the business, I learn something from every single transaction and I meet the coolest people. My buyers and sellers, the most rewarding thing to me is I become friends, we become friends for life during and after a transaction. So what I'd like to say to you is if you're considering a license or want a refresher or need a mentor coach, please take a look at our training series. You can go to Lettiann.com and search the tab for training. There you'll see our real estate training success program. You can download as well. So I just thank you so much for your support. I'm gonna take another sip of this before it gets cold. I wanna thank you so much for supporting us, watching the podcast, following us on our socials, subscribing to our YouTube channel. We're so enjoying providing you with valuable information about real estate. And now, again, season 5, kicking it off today with a twist in the kitchen with Lettiann. So thank you so much. Check out our website, Lettiann.com, and we look forward to seeing you on the next episode of Real Estate U with Lettiann.
The Real Estate U podcast with Lettiann.